should just play it. What?
The girl.
I don't know. Actually, it was like a boy did this and the girl did this.
Rabbi, can you do that part? The light.
So not even know
Rabbi, can you do this part? Okay? Are you going to do the light?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm
And then we'll do it with a horse or with a mule. Girls will do it with a horse. Boys do it with a mule. Girls do it with a horse.
Okay, remember, boys do mule,
Sure.
girls do
Sure,
horse.
if you're not sure, be like, oi!
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun.
Of course I did.
I wish it was. I want to be in it.
What do you mean? This is just
I want to be in it. I wish it was.
Just as soon as you go.
Yeah, I got it. If it was in Panto, I would be so happy. I would definitely lead it if we don't talk about it. I memorize the whole song. Same.
When Tabby is talking, I'll do that narration. You go, die, die, die.
So the italics,
Yeah.
the one before it was in bold.
Yeah, right.
And the rest of it.
You ready? Let's do it. 6:30? All right.
Hello!
Hello, everyone. Chag Sameach.
Chag Sameach!
Happy Purim. We welcome you. We are live and in person here for Purim. Let's hear it. For those of you who are watching at home, we're so thrilled that you're joining us from home. Hope you're enjoying and hope you're in costume with a Hamantashen right nearby. So, tonight what we're going to do is we're going to have a brief service followed by our Purim Shpiel. Let's hear it for our performers. Okay, so the key thing here is that we're going to be very, very serious. No, the key thing is what you have to do is find your inner silly. Yes, if you find your inner silly, we can do Purim tonight. So, on that note, because we are silly, because we are having fun, because we are joyous, because we're celebrating, we begin service with a smile, and we open to page, well, I don't think it's page 1, but it's the next page, and it's My Tofu to the tune of Ma Tovu. So, join me in singing. It's the classic tune that you know. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. My tofu, oh, I ate it, now I'm through. Oh, I ate it, now I'm blue. It tasted like a shoe. Once again, my tofu, oh, I ate it, now I'm through. Oh, I ate it, now I'm blue. It tasted like a shoe. I love the round. Thank you for that. All right. A Purim responsive reading. Please participate in the italics. I, the Eternal, have called you to righteousness and taken you by the hand and kept you. I have made you a covenant people, a light to the nations.
We are Israel. We do not buy our merchandise at retail prices.
This is the covenant I will make with Israel. I will place my Torah in your midst and write it upon your hearts. I will be your God, and you will be my people.
We are Israel. Our Torah forbids us worship of Danish or power, but it doesn't say anything about eating Danish or cheesecake.
You who worship gods that cannot save you, hear the words of the Eternal. I am God, and there is none else.
We are Israel. Our prophets proclaim that we must vote for Democrats.
Hate evil and love what is good. Let justice well up as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream.
We are Israel. We tell really funny jokes.
You shall not oppress your neighbor, nor rob him. You shall not stand idle while your neighbor bleeds.
We are Israel. We alone understand that matzah is the bread of affliction.
Violence shall no longer be heard in your land. Desolation and destruction within your borders. All your children shall be taught of the Lord, and great shall be the peace of your children.
We are Israel, O God, when we send our children to religious schools so that we can have time for Starbucks.
Steadfast, the synagogue has stood as the champion of justice, mercy, and peace.
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Oh, we got to sing that. All we are saying is give peace a chance. Its love is the love for all peoples. All you need is love. Da, 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 da. It's love, love, love is all you need. It's God is the God of all peoples, as it has been said, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all peoples. Our house, very, very, very fine house, with 2 cats in the yard. Life used to be so hard. And Jerry and Leslie are here with us tonight. I am the service reader. I am the shepherd.
We are all creations. We are the flock.
I write the words.
We read your words like mindless sheep. David is great. We love our power.
Our sages taught there was a certain matron who was walking down the street, singing snapping her fingers with a shuffle in her feet. We got spirit. Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you?
Yes, we do. We got spirit. How about you?
We got more.
We got more.
We got more.
We got more.
All right. Oh, well done. All right. And now, on page 40, a wicked man. Yes, because this is Purim, and so we sing together, oh, once there was a wicked man. Everyone ready? You know this tune, so join me. We are a cappella tonight. Oh, once there was a wicked, wicked man, and Haman was his name, sir. He would have murdered all the Jews, though they were not to blame, sir. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. And Nasham Hamintashin. And Esther was the lovely queen of King Ahasuerus. When Haman said he'd kill us all, oh my, how he did scare us. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. And Nasham Hamintashin. And Esther speaking to the king of Haman's mansion. Ha ha, said he, oh no he won't, I'll spoil his bad intention. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. And Nasham Hamintashin, the guest of honor he shall be. This clever Mr. Smarty, and high above us he shall swing at a little hanging party. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. And Nasham Hamintashin, of all his cruel and unkind ways, this little joke did cure him. And don't forget we owe him thanks for this jolly feast of Purim. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. Oh, today we'll merry, merry be. And Nasham Hamintashin. Give yourself a round of applause. All right. And so, our Purim Shpiel tonight, a very special radio play. It is called, well, Megillah Madness, a fiddler on the roof, Purim Shpiel. Let's hear it. Tonight, our radio play will be performed by the citizens of Anatevka. We are proud citizens, but we do have some issues in our town. So, with that in mind, with all of you participating with your noisemakers, let's hear them now. We now present to you, with the help of our Purim Shpiel players, a Fiddler on the Roof Purim Shpiel. Okay. We begin.
Quiet, everyone. We're on the air in 3, 2, 1.
Chag Purim Sameach. Happy Purim, everybody. And welcome to WWCT Radio's annual broadcast of Megillah Madness. Tonight, we present to you a story of learning, faith, humor, love, and conflict, one of the new classics of Purim celebration. Stay with us as Tevya, Golda, Huddle, Perchik, Laser Wolf, and of course, Grandma Seidel all lead us on a journey into early 20th century Eastern Europe, into the world of Sholem Aleichem, the tiny shtetl of Anatevka, and onward to Shushan. Yes, Shushan, that walled city in Persia where, long, long ago, the life of every Jewish man, woman, and child was on the line when a despicable, evil villain plotted their doom.
WWCT Radio is proud to present a Fiddler on the Roof Purim Shpiel.
WWCT's A Fiddler on the Roof Purim Shpiel is brought to you this evening by Plotter Blotter. When you're faced with imminent genocide against your people, worry no more. Plotter Blotter to the rescue.
And by Ezzy, Moram, and Lukum, caterers, your one-stop party planner will take care of the details so you can take care of your enemies. Don't touch that dial. Megillah Madness will return after this brief word from our sponsor.
Good evening. Crazed lunatics ruining your breakfast? Psychotic screwballs advocating the demise of your community? Deranged maniacs threatening to do in your mother-in-law? Well, look no further than Plotter Blotter, the revolutionary new self-defense line from Big Ton's Big Top of Savings. The next time you're hanging out at the city gates and overhear some bully has managed to scratch and claw his way into power, and now you're chosen to remember the little people by doing away with them, just take out your Plotter Blotter. Before you can name the king's 7
Eunuchs,
Mehuman, Bitsa, Harvana, Bigta, Avagta, Zaitar, and Karkas, your troubles will be gone. And all it takes is a single dab of Plotter Blotter, strategically placed on the madman's big mouth, and he'll be out of business, on the skids, down at the heels, and out at the elbows. Why ruin another perfectly good community? Axe now to stock up on Plotter Blotter and start living the good life today. Dial 1-888-PLOT-BLOT now. Operators are standing by.
Welcome to WWCT's radio award-winning broadcast of Megillah Madness, a Fiddler on the Roof Purim Shpiel. As a public service to the studio audience and you folks at home, we now invite General Panic of the Shushan National Guard to share a few words on Purim safety.
Chag Purim Sameach. Many thanks for giving me a minute or two to speak with you about a topic of concern to us all. Grogger safety education. Purim's a lot of fun, but not when someone gets hurt unless you're It's of critical importance that each one of you understands proper and improper technique regarding the swinging and shaking of your groggers or mac and cheese boxes. First of all, don't forget to raise your box high in the air. The object is to blot out pain, not the person sitting next to you. And second, especially for moms and dads with little ones here tonight, or moms and moms, or dads and dads, please be aware that the small hole underneath each grogger is sharp, kind of, and can cut little fingers. Please make sure the hole is covered. Please make sure you don't poke anyone with the corner of the box.
That's right, General.
panic. Grogger's safety is primarily concerned to us, but we mustn't forget that groggers make a lot of noise too. It's vital that we know when to shake them and when not to. Here's how it works. When you hear the special word, you see this signal display, grogger go signal. Make as much noise as you can, but when you see this signal display, grogger stop signal, just stop as quickly as you can. How about we test those groggers right now?
All right.
Great, a job well done, soldiers. I'm General Panic. Have a great time tonight. If you don't, it'll be drop and give me 100 for you. Hog Purim Sameach.
That was General Panic of the Shushan National Guard with a WWCT public service announcement promoting Purim safety awareness through SCARE, swinging, caution, and revelry effectiveness training. And now, we invite our studio audience and the folks at home to join us as we begin our spiel.
Well, where shall we begin?
I was thinking that maybe this year we'd do something different, that we'd go somewhere entirely new with the story, that we'd explore the spirit of the Esther story rather than the actual words themselves. Perhaps we could try an avant-garde approach, mixing the rather unreal, fantastic nature of the story with its more somber details.
Excuse me? Yes?
Fermez la bouche!
Oh, I'm so sorry. I hadn't realized I was carrying on. Rather embarrassing, you know. I'm not sure what got into me. Don't worry, though. It won't happen again. Really. Honest. Read some Megillah, maybe?
Now it happened in the days of Ahasuerus, who reigned over 127 provinces from India to Nubia. In those days when King Ahasuerus occupied the royal throne in the fortress Shushan, in the 3rd year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all the officials and administrators of Persia and Media. He threw a royal bash for all the nobles and the governors of the provinces in his service. And so began one of the wildest parties in human history.
For 7 days, King Ahasuerus celebrated with the people of Shushan.
For 7 days, the wine ran freely and food never stopped.
For 7 days, they all made fools of themselves.
And then some.
On the 7th day, King Ahasuerus called for his queen, the exotic and beautiful and proud,
very proud, Queen Vashti. She was to dance before the king and all his pals.
And her response would change the course of history.
How do we know? That we can tell you in one word.
Megillah!
Megillah! Megillah! Megillah! Megillah! Megillah! Megillah! Here in Shushan, we've come to expect a lot from our kings. A lot of taxes, a lot of corruption, and a lot of, how can I say this delicately, words that don't exactly inspire us. You may ask, why do we stay in Shushan? I'll tell you, I don't know. We're poor people, and living here is our lot. We stay because Shushan is our home. And if the king wants to make a fool of himself, well then, at least it's our king who's playing the fool. Ahasuerus thought he'd be a smarty, throw a royal party, only men allowed. Then 7 days later, in a fit of boredom, sought a visit by the queen.
Me?
Queen Vashti! Queen Vashti! Megillah! Queen Vashti! Queen Vashti! Megillah!
Vashti was the victim who declined to come to save the face of the royal bum. Wouldn't dance before the men in just her crown. She earned a one-way ticket out of town. King Bachelor, King Bachelor, Megillah, King Bachelor, King Bachelor, Megillah. So now a new queen must be found. The search would take a year. They have to find a bride for him who's oh so pretty. Hadassah, a queen. Megillah, Hadassah, a queen. Megillah. So Esther, though a Jew, decided to step in. Her cousin Mordecai, he was certain she could win. A contest, Megillah. A contest, Megillah.
Life can be quite exciting here in Shushan. A king banishes his queen. A simple girl from the shtetl is offered the royal crown. A sinister plot develops in the king's inner court. A little something for everyone. We don't bother them, and for the most part, they don't bother us. And among ourselves, we get along perfectly well. Of course, there was the time when Kishka and Pupik argued over that time the king gave his State of the Kingdom message, and everybody thought it was a lot of horse. How can I say this delicately? Well, that which emerges from the rear end of a horse.
It was a mule.
It was a horse.
It was a mule.
It was a horse.
Mule.
Horse.
Mule.
Horse.
Mule.
Horse. Horse.
Ahasuerus thought he'd be a smarty, throw a royal party, only men allowed. Then 6 days later, in a fit of boredom, sought a visit by the crown of town. Megillah, 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 Megillah.
Many young maidens journeyed to Shushan, hoping to become queen.
Each one was taken into the king's palace where, under close rabbinical supervision.
Rabbinical?
Well, under the supervision of Haggai, the guardian of the woman, they prepared for 12 months for the great contest.
Track and field?
Not that kind of contest.
Spelling?
Not that kind either.
Dunking for apples?
Wait, not. This contest was a beauty only.
The maiden who won King Ahasuerus' favor would be crowned his queen.
Piece of cake.
No cake for Esther, I'm afraid. She had to watch her weight.
So how'd she do?
She won, of course.
Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match.
Catchy tune.
But we've got a story to tell.
Esther's cousin,
Queen Esther's cousin.
Queen Esther's cousin, Mordecai, learned of a plot to do away with King Ahasuerus.
Gosh!
Gosh.
Our script
Writers from the Midwest.
Mordecai went straight to the queen, who reported it to the king,
Who looked into the matter
And
Foiled the evil plot.
And the king,
Who'd be, we suppose, impressively relieved.
Had the matter recorded in the royal chronicles.
Sometime afterward,
Someone began to chant some Megillah.
During which everybody listened extra closely, just in case old you-know-whose name was mentioned. So, sometime afterward, King Ahasuerus promoted Haman, son of Hamdatha, the Agagite. He advanced him and seated him higher than any of his fellow officials. All the king's courtiers in the palace gate knelt and bowed low to Haman. For such was the king's order concerning him. But Mordecai would not kneel or bow low. God about to Haman. Though he isn't what we call a hero, model, or a mensch. Says we've got to grovel and obey, or he's gonna make us pay. Really has an ego, and he thinks the sun will rise and set according to his will. In reality, he is a fool, not a jewel, a really cruel man. One day, while on the town surveying his subjects, who should he meet but Mordecai? An honest Jew just out for a daily trek. But when the royal guards insisted he bow to Haman, he patently refused. For Haman's line was that of Amalek. 'Twas in our journey through the desert that Amalek, he attacked us from behind. We are told, remember and don't forget. But Mordecai's refusal didn't sit well with Haman, so evil and unkind. Swore Haman to himself, I'll get him yet. That's what's called Purim, to determine on what day he would initiate his plan. Told the king about those awful Jews disobeying his command. King Ahasuerus granted Haman an appointment at 6:15. Haman told the king, I've awful news. Someone's playing dirty politics. Then Haman told the king about a certain people scattered across his royal realm, instituting laws of their own devise. Although they've lived a long time in town, they don't go on here! Always settled here from Crown. Tolerating them just isn't wise! Your Majesty, we must prepare an edict to destroy. Their contempt for you is heinous. We must stop them in their tracks. If you please, Your Highness. Pardon me, Your Highness. I've a few maneuvers that we should deploy. Haman told the king that he paid the cost to terminate the Jews. Such a fine Messiah, don't you know? 10,000 talents is a steal for the joy of seeing my vision come to pass. Far more than a first-class round-the-world cruise. To watch this abject people meet their new Savior, paying respect to me en masse. Such an option I would gladly choose. Thereupon the king, he took his signet ring and slipped it off the finger on his hand, gave it to Haman and said these words, they are all at your command. Thus he got permission to attack and to destroy us on the 13th of Adar. Mordecai, whatever does this mean? Can we stop this devilish machine? We must find someone to intervene. You must go and see the Queen. Yes. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, this doesn't look good.
Not good. It's a disaster. Everything's falling apart. The Jews of Shushan are doomed. There's no way to stop that man. He'll mow them down, give no quarter, go berserk.
Control yourself!
Oh, sorry, got carried away. Lost self-control. That won't happen again. Not to worry. Got it under control. I'm pulling the cards back in the saddle, king of the mountain.
Sit.
Pause.
Stay.
For every complex problem, there's a simple solution.
What's the Talmud teach us?
In Tractate Bava Klamidi, Rav Pached Ben Hiztah teaches us,
When faced with pending disaster,
Do not fear and do not run.
Rather, face your enemy with calmness and serenity.
Do not fear and do not run. Oh wait, sorry. Then wake up, smell the coffee.
And run for your life.
Is this the best advice you can offer?
Well, Mordecai had a different idea.
Now Hattach, one of Queen Esther's eunuchs, went out to Mordecai in the city square in front of the palace gate, and Mordecai told him all that had happened to him and about the money that Haman had offered to pay into the royal treasury for the destruction of the Jews.
Esther sends servants on the side of Mordecai. What's with the sackcloth? Why so down? Shushan is quite the place to be. It's good for me. What would give you cause to frown? Mordecai told her, Esther, don't you read the news? Your precious king has sealed our fate. Bad for the Jews, there really is no time to lose. Talk to him, don't hesitate. But Esther said that's suicide, marching before the king, demanding that he abort this genocide. That would be suicide too. So although I love you, dear Mordecai, on this solution you can't rely. For although I am queen of all I see, a hero I will never be. Mordecai couldn't let her make this big mistake. Esther, please don't think me unkind. But if we're saved in spite of you with what you knew, you might just as well resign. So Esther finally came to see she had a job to do, but she couldn't do it without company. All had a job to do too. So she told her cousin to alert the Jews to pray and fast or she was bound to lose. And then 3 days later, armed with strength and grace in history, she took her place.
So, after telling Mordecai she was afraid to act on her people's behalf,
Esther mustered the courage to do what needed to be done.
To stop Haman.
Sure, I know what she did. She packed her bags and hopped on the first chariot back to Jerusalem. There's just no way that Esther could have stayed in Shushan. She'd have to be crazy. I mean, if I were in her place, I would have been gone within seconds of Mordecai telling me,
Stop!
What?
that's not what happened.
It isn't?
No!
Are you sure?
We're sure!
oh, then what did happen?
This!
you're listening to WWCT's radio production of A Fiddler on the Roof Principle. We'll be right back to you after this word from our sponsor.
Got a problem with the neighbors? Need to find a way to expose them to the authorities? Stop worrying so much. Haven't you got enough on your mind without having to cook too? Next time you need to take out a slime ball. Pick up the phone and give a call to Purim and Lorem caterers. We'll take care of everything, from soup to nuts, from king to nuts, and from invitations to cleanup. A bit intimidated by delivering the invitations yourself? Relax. We'll get in to see your king. He'll be certain to raise his staff when he sees our staff. Essie's Purim and Lorem caterers. So that's all you need to do is expose the rats and the ruffians, the knaves and the no-goodniks. You count on Essie's to get the job done, so that you can get your job done. Essie's Purim and Lorem caterer in the yellow pages.
Go ahead.
And now we return to the exciting conclusion of this evening's special, A Fiddler on the Roof Purim Shpiel.
After her cousin Mordecai convinced her that she should try and see the king, Queen Esther fashioned her plan. Esther sent these words to Mordecai. Go, assemble all the Jews who live in Shushan, and fast in my behalf. Do not eat or drink for 3 days, night or day. I and my maidens will observe the same fast. Then I shall go to the king, though it is contrary to the law. And if I am to perish, I shall perish.
That's it? That's her plan?
Doesn't seem fully cooked, does it?
Exactly, it's not yet cooked.
What do you mean?
That we mean is they're cooking to be done before Haman.
Can himself be cooked?
After no food and no drink for 3 days, Esther got dressed, spirit ablaze, entered the throne room which harbored the king, with whom she'd be reasoning. Ahasuerus saw his bride right away, lifted his staff, started to say, Esther, my queen, tell me what's your desire. I'll grant all that you require. Then Esther, tense and uneasy, came forward and began to express, O king, I wanted to ask you to stop by with Haman to knock and press. And delighted the king answered, yes! Send Haman word, hurry, get dressed! Didn't you hear Esther bidding us to partake of a lavishly royal stew?
Ahasuerus and his royal vizier walked over to Esther for the most glorious of feasts. Well dined and feeling good, the king again offered up to half of his possessions to the woman he loved. What is your wish, he told her. It shall be granted.
Heshi and Haman, I've got a surprise for you. It's tasty, it's rich, it comes with a fondue. Join me tomorrow for a barbecue. That made each man so happy, their hearts were filled with light, which went together with an appetite.
Later, when Haman was out by the palace gate, saw something down there that made him so irate.
Each person but Mordecai stood up,
Yup,
which made that man so angry.
His soul was filled with bile. He told his wife what happened. It took a while.
Haman spoke about his children and of his unbounded wealth, of his royal promotion and Esther's great cooking, and his clean bill of health. But
When he mentioned his foe Mordecai, how he did burn 'cause of that guy, Zeresh's wife and their friends all replied, why not have him mortified?
delighted,
Haman stood up and announced that he'd go right to the king before they gather with Esther this link. He'll be severing. Though it was late and about time to crash, Haman was out the door in a flash. Off to the king long before their next bash. He'd get Mordecai, put him away, polish him off, send him out west. Be rid of this loathsome pest.
It's not looking good for Mordecai.
No, actually, it's not looking good for Haman.
But how can you say that? I mean, you were at the dinner. I mean, you weren't at the dinner, of course, but you heard about the dinner. The king and the queen and, oh, that really awful guy. And he's going to go through with his plan. He's going to kill all of Shushan's Jews. And with dinner, yet.
Cork it!
Now calm down. It's not as bleak as you think.
That's right. Listen to what happens next. The night after Esther's for dinner, King Ahash couldn't sleep.
He wanted someone to read him a bedtime story, so he ordered his royal chronicles brought to him.
A real snoozer.
Yep, but he noticed something.
Mordecai saved his life but not yet been rewarded.
And so it happened that you-know-who was wandering the palace grounds.
Who is in the court, the king asked. For Haman had just entered the outer court of the royal palace to speak to the king about having Mordecai executed. It is Haman who is standing in the court. The king's servants answered him. Let him enter, said the king.
And that was the beginning of the end.
Haman thought he was going to be honored.
So he suggested that the king dress this man in a royal garb and threw a ticker-tape parade for him in the streets of Shushan.
Did they really do that?
Well, not to the tickle tape pole.
But they did have a parade.
For Mordecai.
And Haman led the horse.
That he was steamed.
Cute. More cooking imagery.
Just trying to.
Cute, more cooking imagery.
Just trying to help.
After the humiliating parade, Haman went home.
To be consoled by his wife and friends.
He was boiling.
And we don't mean eggs.
So when Haman told his wife, Zeresh and all his friends and everything that had befallen him, they said to him, if Mordecai, before whom you have begun to fall, is of Jewish stock, you will not overcome him. You will fall before him to your ruin. Was that supposed to
help him feel better?
Regardless of what it did, that was when the king's servants called on Haman
To come to Esther's second dinner.
About time. We're hungry.
The food's not for you. You are just the storytellers. The food was the smoke screen.
Neither the king nor Haman could have seen what was coming next.
Esther snuggled up to her hubby.
She battled those long eyelashes and got in the job in first place.
And in her sweetest voice, Esther spoke to the king.
We're still hungry! Patience, O loud ones. You'll get yours too.
And in her sweetest voice, Esther spoke to the king.
Oh, king, just do me one eensy-weensy favor.
The king melted.
Whatever you want, my dear. Up to half my kingdom.
Let my wife be granted me as my wish and my people as my request.
What?
Cried the king.
We have been sold, my people and I, to be destroyed, massacred, and exterminated.
Who would dare?
The king challenged.
Had we only been sold into slavery, I would not have bothered you.
At which point, the climatic point, I might add, the critical verses were chanted.
King Ahasuerus demanded of Queen Esther, who is he and where is he who dared to do this? The adversary and enemy, replied Esther, is this evil Haman. And Haman cringed in terror before the king and the queen.
And with good reason too.
The king immediately rid the kingdom of Haman.
He appointed Mordecai his royal vizier.
Hurrah!
And made sure the plans to destroy the kingdom's Jews were thwarted.
Sighs of relief everywhere.
When the 13th of Adar had came and gone,
And the plans of evil Haman had not come to pass,
A holiday was declared.
Happy Purim!
On the 14th of Adar, insisted of grief and mourning.
It became Purim, a day of feasting and celebration.
We've reached the ending of our story. Once more the enemy is gone. Esther and Mordecai have seen the thread withdrawn. Shushan is safe again from danger. All of her children sleep in peace. Dreams filled with monsters all around have ceased. Tikkun Olam, one world complete, answering all our prayers. Honor and faith in one another. May this continue through our heirs. Tikkun Olam, one world made whole. Reach out, hold me near, filling the world with love together, nurturing life throughout the year. Purim's not just another story, pictures and words to put away. Much more remains though Purim's over to convey. There are so many other places, lands where the havens all are real. We must make sure the bells of freedom peal. Tikkun Olam, one world complete, answering all our prayers. Honor and faith in one another. May this continue through our heirs. Tikkun Olam, one world made whole. Reach out, hold me near, filling the world with love together, nurturing life throughout the year.
This concludes WWCT's radio broadcast of Megillah Madness, a Fiddler on the Roof Purim Shpiel. We invite you to tune in again next year for another award-winning presentation to fill your Purim celebration with light and joy.
Now can we eat? Absolutely. Essie herself is catering.
Before you go, we just want to remind you.
Purim is a lot of fun.
But it's not only about fun.
And Purim's great for kids.
But it's important for adults too.
Because the message of Purim is a vital one.
Standing up for important ideas like liberty and brotherhood is critical if our communities are to be strong.
All year long, Judaism tries to remind us to protect and act on these ideas.
Whether we're twirling a grogger,
Or studying Talmud.
Or celebrating Shabbat at temple.
Judaism stands for some of life's most essential values.
It's worth being part of the Jewish community.
And it's worth celebrating that we belong to Jewish families.
Oh, so let's all stand together now, and all of us
Take a curtain call and sing. Oh, sorry.
And sing our final song as well.
Before you and I were born, before our parents were born, before our grandparents were born, this has always been our song. Hats off to being Jewish. It's wondrously precious to us. Our forebears once did so much to be part of this family tree. Now it's our turn. Hats off to being Jewish. A mix of high spirits and smarts. Our people always have tried to live life as superlative, learning throughout our lives. First, we've got the books of Torah, Bereshit, Shemot, Vayikra, Bamidbar. Devarim completes the Chumash, Sifrei Kodesh that have made us who we are. And then it's on to Mishnah. The Torah was brought up to date. The rabbis worked out some other ways, traveling God's legal maze, always to consecrate. Up in Babylonia, more discussions about what's known. You call their book Gemara, thought their job was complete. Based it on the Mishnah, clarifying was their Mishnah. Hoped to curb confusion, making Torah more sweet. Mishnah and Gemara were then placed inside one book. Calling it the Talmud, got the folks to take a look. Across Babylonia, students bought their books on Lonia, spent a lifetime learning Talmud, Torah, and peace. All across the ages, we've kept turning Talmud's pages. Now these books are ours to help our learning increase. Okay, hats on to being Jewish. There's always more learning around. Whether we study on Tu B'Shvat or gather on Shabbat, where all students then open up the prayer book. Inside it, more letters and words. Some of them date back 1,000 years, logging our hopes and fears, still to guide us today. That old Siddur is ever so much more than verses that were written many years ago. There's wisdom buried deeply that we carry, finding guidance there to help our souls to grow. To us and our good fortune, no matter the challenge in life, we're going to reach out for one and all, learn much and stand up tall. Be l'chaim to life!
Keep it going for our wonderful cast. Maybe we'll just pass down the microphone so everybody can introduce themselves.
I'm Niev.
I'm Mario.
I'm Max. I'm Alexandria.
I'm Paulina.
I'm Owen.
Adina.
Soren.
Rabbi Howard.
Georgia Martin.
And let's hear it for David Perlman to put all this together.
Awesome. Just a couple of things. That's fantastic. You guys did so great. I probably haven't smiled this much in so long. I can't tell you guys how much we learned through the process. There were a lot of words that came up that students asked questions about and got us to think about things in a lot of different ways. Big shout out to Niev, who made this wonderful backdrop with some of our students. And to Adina, who, when we got the go-ahead to have some food here about a week ago, made all the necessary arrangements to make sure that everything was here, including going to 2 different BJs in different parts of Massachusetts to make sure we had Chum and Tashin. Also to Rabbi Howard, who's always the biggest mensch ever, and also knew the music the best of any of us. And I'm just going to say it, Soren. Can I say it, that we agreed on this? Okay, Soren and I agreed that we're going to write an Encanto Purim Shpiel this year and show it off next year. So there were some things in the Purim Shpiel that didn't sit exactly right with us, and across different Purim Shpiels that happen sometimes, and there's opportunities for us to practice inclusion and awareness of how we tell the story, even though the stories are kind of difficult to digest sometimes. So, really nice job. Really well done. I'd also like to point out that 2 years ago at this was the last thing that we did before the pandemic. We have the Scheinkauf Levies in the house. And in a lot of ways, it feels like things are starting to open up even more. The vibe that we have here, the energy that we have here, we hope to push out through the rest of everything that we're doing. We have our annual meeting at the end of April. We have our Purim Carnival even sooner.
This coming Sunday.
Very soon.
And don't forget, services Friday night at 6:15, and then Saturday morning right here at 10 o'clock. So like it's a whole weekend here at Temple Habanero.
And in case
pretty excited.
you don't remember things just like that, you're still cavelling about the wonderful cast and the wonderful spiel, you get an e-blast every Thursday or Friday that Adina thoughtfully puts together. So just check out your email this week at THB. Also, last but not least, the man behind the smoke screen, Michael Blaine, who always makes sure that things are being taken care of.
And one more quick thing. I want to thank everyone for who made a donation to the Mishloach Mano campaign. We far outreached our goal. And we, for those of you who have not picked up your boxes yet, please make sure to grab it on your way out and write your name. And thank you also to those extra people who are delivering to people.
I guess now we can eat.
Wait, do we have a box for or should we leave their macaroni and cheese groggers on the chairs, or?
There's a box on your way out.
Okay, a box on the way out, and leave the services on the chairs. That'd be wonderful.
L'chaim.
Chag Sameach, everybody. Thanks for coming. We got Hamantashen in the back. Make sure you have some.
All right, yeah, you guys go first. Priorities. Get the children the Hamantashen. Rabbi, you know
Oh, yes.
so
Hey,
well.
cast. Can we get a photo of the cast?
Oh, Cass, come on back so we get a photo.
Just one photo.
Okay, never mind, kids, come back. I was like,